Alafia, Hotep, Kamusta. Welcome to the Mind of Ro page. I am Faju Junde, Oguna Salamio, Oba, Jaguna. Today I'm going to make a video on how to trust your intuition. So I haven't been live in a while because I've been moving. So now that I'm settled in and I'm comfortable, I am ready to start doing lives again. So the last video I made was on an Oya meditation. If you like that kind of stuff, I do a lot of meditation videos, and I do a lot of videos on Orisha, Isheshe work, and other practices like the Netaru and Kumbanda and stuff like that. So go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Mind of Ro. I also have a TikTok and Instagram and a Twitter at Mind of Ro, and I have a Facebook business page at The Mind of Ro. And I also do readings. So if you would like to get a reading done, go ahead and shoot me a comment or a message and set an appointment up with me, and I could do a reading on you. So first of all, what is intuition? Intuition, it's basically a feeling that you get in your gut that instinctively lets you know if something is right or wrong. So let's talk about that really quick. How do you trust your intuition? Number one is, first you have to admit to yourself that you haven't been trusting your intuition. Can you honestly look in the past and really think, dang, I should have known that was going to be a bad relationship. I should have known, I knew it wasn't going to turn out good if I went to that party. I know I shouldn't have called that person, or I know I had a feeling that job was going to end up irritating me more than benefiting me. Do you have a history of thinking these things and doing these things? So the first step is really you got to admit that you have an issue not trusting your intuition. So when you first admit it, then you can actually start trusting your intuition. If we're not realizing that we're not trusting it, then we're going to keep roaming around life not doing what we know we should be doing. So when you're ready to admit that you don't trust your intuition, the best thing to do also is to ask yourself why. Why are you not trusting your intuition? Every time you get this gut feeling in your stomach and you're getting the feeling you know you shouldn't be doing something, or you know you should be doing something but you're not, ask yourself, why are you not doing it? Do you have a history of making bad choices? I'm going to let you know right now, if you have a history of making bad choices, it's because you've been ignoring your intuition, okay? Are you hanging out with people who like to contradict your intuition? You have to be upfront about that and ask yourself, what is really causing me to not want to trust my intuition? It's good to write these things down, put it on a piece of paper, and then ask yourself if this is really feasible. Is it realistic? What are some of these false ideas that you have that you need to let go of? So my next one, number two, is know the difference between intuition and fear. So what is fear? Fear is false evidence appearing real. So here is a practice that I have learned to do to know the difference between fear and intuition, or anxiety and intuition, because fear could come with a lot of anxiety. And to be honest, sometimes even intuition can come with a little anxiety. So please don't let anxiety itself identify fear, because you could actually still be pretty intuitive and still have your intuition push a feeling of anxiety in you, because your soul is basically saying this is not right for you. You should be worrying about this because you shouldn't be going that way. So know the difference between fear and intuition. So here's a practice you could do to know the difference. When you're in the mode of feeling like you're in a moment of you need to figure out if you're being fearful or if you're being intuitive. Let's say there's something going on. Let's say you feel like maybe somebody's cheating on you or something like that, and you feel like your intuition is telling you, but at the same time you're like, well, maybe it's not my intuition. Maybe I'm just fearful because the last person cheated on me, so I'm trying to reflect my own issues onto the current partner. Let's just say, use that example. So this is what you do when you're in a moment like that. You have to pause it's good to do this by yourself. Obviously, it's not going to work really well for you if you're in the middle of a conversation with somebody. You can't just freeze and pause and space out. People are going to think you're weird. Okay, so when you're in this energy field, it's good to back away from the situation. Don't allow somebody else to kind of, influence you or influence your thoughts in any way. So when you're in this area of your life and you're not knowing which way to go, and if it's your fear or intuition, go somewhere where you could be alone, whether it's going to be in your car, it's going to be in another room, wherever you need to go, where you're not going to be interrupted by anybody trying to influence your thoughts. Is you're going to simply sit with yourself just for a moment, because what we tend to do when we're feeling fearful or anxious or nervous and stuff like that, we tend to react to those emotions and react to the fear and anxiety, and then we get all scatterbrained and then we can't think straight. So you got to step away from the situation for a second, step away from whoever it is, whatever the people are that you don't want to influence your mind, and just sit with yourself. And without having I like to call it the monkey chatter, where it's like we constantly think, oh my God, what about this? Oh my God, and you start freaking out and stuff. Please listen to my meditations on how to still your mind. And I make a lot of meditations on that, because this is when this is going to really be helpful for you, okay? You need to go sit by yourself, and you need to calm the mind chatter down in your brain just for a moment and learn to just focus on your breathing. Maybe you can simply tell yourself, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out, or just focus on the way it feels for you, the air to go in and out of your body. Because what you want to do is you want to calm your brain down in the monkey chatter and the worry down in your mind, so you're not focused on that. Because what you want to focus on is the energy that you feel when you're in this state of mind. So when you're feeling anxious, or you're not sure if it's fear or if it's intuition, you're simply going to sit with it for a moment and let the mind chatter calm down, sit with your breathing, and then you're actually going to pay attention to the way your body feels and the way your energy inside of you feels. So fear, when you're sitting inside your body of fear, your body actually feels like this. It feels like it's really tense, and it feels really heavy, and it feels kind of dark. When you're intuitive and you're getting an intuitive answer, your body feels a lot lighter. It feels a lot more clear. Your head actually feels clear. This area right here actually feels clear. You actually feel like you're getting clarity on something that you've been asking the universe for. That's how you know the difference between fear and intuition. So if you do this practice, please let me know how it works. You are simply going to sit with yourself and stop the monkey chatter just for a moment, and you're going to pay attention to the way your body feels and the way the energy feels in your body. And that's how you know the difference between fear and intuition. Even if your intuition is giving you an answer that you really don't even like, and the answer you don't want to hear, you're still going to feel a light clarity, clear energy with you, even if it's an answer that you do not like. So just to let you know, just because you might not like the answer you're getting, it doesn't necessarily mean your body's going to be in a state of fear or anxiety or worry. You can feel very light even when you get answers that you really don't like. Trust me, I'm a medium. I get answers I don't like all the time. But when I do get answers I don't like, it still feels like clarity, and it still feels like a higher knowing, and it's something that I need to know. So the next one, number 3, is focus on the outcome of your intuition. So a lot of times when you intuitively know something is going to turn out a specific way, a lot of times we will react out of fear by trying to erase the story out of our head and try to say, okay, well, maybe this is stupid, maybe I'm making it up, and blah, blah, blah. So it's going to be another practice where basically you're going to sit with the stories that are playing out in your head over and over again, and ask yourself, is this feasible? Is this realistic? So if your intuition tells you do not go into this relationship because it's going to end up turning badly, because you can energetically feel that person's energy, then you need to sit with that story in your head and really be with it and know, okay, this is how this can actually turn out because my intuition is telling me that. Now, if I end up going another route and going this way instead, for example, let's say I get to end up going to this job instead of this job, you intuitively can have a feeling of how that's going to turn out. Does your energy feel like, oh my God, if I go to this job, I feel so light. I feel so happy. I feel like the outcome is going to be wonderful. It's going to be great. I should totally be going this way. And if I go this way, I feel like all this bad and negative stuff's going to happen. You need to really follow through with the stories that you're hearing, your intuition and your spirit is trying to tell you the stories, the outcome of the stories. This way it makes it easier for you to be able to make the choices that you need to make. You need to sit with those stories that are playing out intuitively and letting you know how this story is going to end up being, or how your life is going to end up being. And you need to let that, excuse me, you need to allow that story to play so you can hear it, and so you can actually make the choice to say, do I want to live this story, or do I not want to live this story? How would I feel if I lived this story? How would I love it? Would I hate it? Whatever it is. So number 3 is basically to focus on the outcome of the message that your spirit is trying to help you receive. So if your spirit is trying to tell you this is what's going to happen, follow through with that. It's basically what I'm saying. So number 4 is, excuse me, I've been getting allergies recently. It sucks. I don't like it. So my next one is, number 4 is, you need to make your mind up. Okay, a lot of times when we're intuitive, we get like, we get the answer. Like, we know what's going to happen. We know how it's going to turn out. And we don't want to listen to it. And we want to like be flippy floppy and go back and forth. Like, okay, well, I figured out that if I do this, this is how it's going to turn out. And this is how I feel it's going to turn out. But what if this happens? Or what if this happens? And maybe this, or maybe that, or maybe... And you start questioning your sanity and all that kind of stuff, basically. So what I'm trying to say is you need to make your mind up, okay? Once you make your mind up, you need to stick with it and stop bouncing back and forth, which is going to go to my next one, is stop letting other people tell you what to think, okay? Stop letting other people tell you what your intuition is telling you. Because that's what makes us not trust our intuition, is because we're listening to other people tell us what to think, okay? So when you make your mind up, you need to stick with it, and you need to stop allowing other people to tell you otherwise, because that's how you make good choices in your life. That's how you say, okay, this is what I want to do, and I've already made my mind up that my gut feeling and my intuition and my spirit has told me this, and there is nothing you're going to do or say to convince me otherwise, and you need to stick with that. You got to be grounded in your intuition. It's your spirit talking to you. It's your ancestors, or it's your higher self, or it's source, whatever it is you want to believe in is telling you something, and you need to stick with it. And once you make your mind up in your head and you know spirit is telling you this is right and this is wrong, then you need to stop allowing other people to tell you otherwise. Because that's the reason why we go the wrong way, is because we're listening to manipulators and people who want to gaslight us or make us question our sanity and make us doubt spirit and make us doubt God and make us doubt our ancestors and make us doubt our orishas and stuff. And that's how we end up making bad choices in life, because we're not trusting in that message in ourselves. We are not making our mind up, and we're not sticking with it the way we should be sticking with it and going with what spirit is telling us. So the last step is very important, that once you figure out this is my intuition, my intuitive answer, stick with it and stop allowing other people to tell you otherwise, because you need to understand this is your life. This is nobody else's life. If you do not listen to your intuition, you will end up going the wrong way. If you listen to other people who have poor, horrible advice, and they're not aligned with your spirit, and they're not aligned with your purpose, and they're not aligned with your path, they will steer you away into the crappy path that they're on. So please, when you listen to your intuition, do not let other people tell you otherwise. Trust me, I go through this all the time. I do readings all the time. I do EFA readings. People lie to me all the time. I have a lot of spirits who tell me things, and then humans will be over here trying to tell me something else. And I have learned from my personal experience that once I start to trust my spirit, my higher calling, my Ori, my Orishas, my Eshu and Pampajira, my ancestors, when I trust into that answer they give me and my intuition more than people outside of me, then my life has been in complete array and ascension and in peace. So when you stray away from your third eye, when you stray away from your intuition, life gets really hectic and stuff. So please remember that every single time you have went against your own third eye and went against your intuition, life ended up not being very good. So please trust your intuition. Please trust spirit when spirit tells you something. It doesn't matter what other people are telling you. If you know this is right, it's right. If it feels right, it's right. If it feels wrong, it's wrong. And stop allowing other people to tell you otherwise. So my next video is actually going to be on, I'm still sticking with the third eye kind of concept for the next couple weeks. So my next video is actually going to be on why you should not open your third eye before doing this. So there's a lot of videos of people out there saying that they decided to run away from the church and they decided they wanted to go be spiritual and open their third eye. But once they opened their third eye, they started seeing a whole bunch of demons and blah, 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 blah. So they decided that it was toxic and then go run back to church. Okay, so I'm going to make a video on my next video on what you need to do before you open your third eye. Okay, so you don't end up going through all this crap that all these spiritual haters are talking about online. Okay, so please check out my next video on that. I hope all of you are having an intuitive day. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and Mind of Ro and hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I have more spiritual wisdom to share with you. Unc Ucha Seneb, Namaste, Hodabo, peace.